What's going on, everybody? It's Royalty Crypto here and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about whether or not I think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin and crypto. I also wanted to take a look at some upcoming bullish catalysts for the market that I believe are being overlooked right now. I believe people are selling based on fear and not fundamentals, and in my opinion that is the best time to be buying. Also guys, this is a brand new YouTube channel, so I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin. So as you guys can see here, we are sitting at 95,800, which is a bit higher from last night. We did get all the way down to 94,000. So do I think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin? It is possible. However, I am not convinced that that is the case in the short term. Now, the reason for that, guys, is when you zoom out just a bit to the 5-year chart, I have a line drawn that represents the bull run from the past 2 years. And as you guys can see, we have actually touched this trend line basically 3 times since the start of the run. So I do believe that it is possible that we could touch this trend line once again, and if we were to do that, it would be around $91,000. But guys, if we do get down to $91,000, we are still technically bullish as long as we stay above this trend line. Another reason why I believe that we could continue to dip in the short term is because we have a CME gap at $92,000. If you guys know anything about CME gaps, they get filled 95% of the time. So it doesn't mean we have to fill it right now, but it is very likely, and I believe that it would actually be a bullish thing for the medium term, because if this gap does get filled, it's one less thing for technical analysts to worry about the next time we go on an uptrend. And even though I think it is possible that the price of Bitcoin could continue to dip in the next couple of days to weeks, please don't take this the wrong way. I am far from bearish. In fact, I am very bullish on the next couple of months for crypto. I believe that the reason why we are experiencing this dip right now is just because when the government reopened, instead of receiving more clarity, we actually got more uncertainty entering the market. Because as you can see here, it has been officially stated by the White House that key US government quantitative data for October, including the full jobs report and inflation data, will likely never be released. So this is a huge problem for the upcoming FOMC meeting in December, because as you can see, it's now more likely that we will get a pause over a cut in December. So this isn't a big deal in the medium term. However, this will create a lot of volatility in the short term. The reason for that, guys, is because at one point we actually did have this rate cut priced into the market. Just 1 month ago, we had like a 98% chance of seeing a cut in December based on the FOMC prediction tool. So although this uncertainty could bring the price of Bitcoin down in the short term, it's not guaranteed, and I still think that this is a fantastic place to be accumulating Bitcoin and altcoins. That's not financial advice, however, that is just my opinion, and I do encourage that you guys do your own research rather than just watching my videos. However, I am personally dollar cost averaging into the market right now. Regardless of the fact that this is potentially bearish news in the short term, if you zoom out just a little bit to even the January FOMC meeting, you can see that we have a 65% chance of having at least 1 rate cut or potentially 2 rate cuts before and during that meeting. So guys, I think that it is very important to not be affected by the short-term price action, because at the end of the day, it is just noise. And say we do have a parabolic bull run next year, or at least continue our bull run uptrend, nobody will even remember what happened in December of this year. So don't let it get to you too much, guys. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, which I believe is an incredibly bullish upcoming catalyst, is the fact that quantitative tightening is officially coming to an end December 1st of this year. So basically what that means, guys, is the past 3 to 4 years we've actually been in a restrictive policy where the Fed has been sucking liquidity out of the markets. So the fact that we've even had this bull run is so impressive, to say the very least. We've been able to go from $15,000 per Bitcoin to $125,000 in spite of the less than ideal liquidity situations in the market. So now that quantitative tightening is officially coming to an end, it should help risk on assets like Bitcoin and crypto start to go parabolic. And although we don't have an exact date on when quantitative easing will be starting, I do believe that it will be sometime in 2026. Unfortunately, Jerome Powell is a bit of a hawkish Fed chair, so I don't think that it's a guarantee that we will see that during his term. However, Trump does get to appoint a new Fed chair in May of next year, and we all know that whoever Trump appoints is going to be in support of quantitative easing and lowering rates at a very rapid pace. Because as you can see here, President Trump has argued many times in favor of a weaker dollar because he believes it can make American exports more competitive overseas. And as many of you know, the price of Bitcoin actually has an inverse correlation with the strength of the dollar. So typically when the strength of the dollar is increasing, the price of Bitcoin is struggling, and vice versa. So if Trump does decide to turn on the money printers and inject liquidity into the economy, it should undoubtedly help the prices of Bitcoin Bitcoin and crypto, and I fully expect that. So with all that being said, I believe that it is much more important to focus on the medium term for Bitcoin and crypto because of the fact that we have all of these upcoming bullish catalysts rather than worrying about the short-term price action and whether or not the official bottom is in. So yeah, guys, just do your best not to let the negativity in the market right now get to you. I believe that it is a very good time to be bullish, and I believe personally that if you are taking advantage of these altcoin discounts, you will be rewarded very handsomely in the next couple of months. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that the bottom is in, and let me know what you expect the prices of Bitcoin to get to in 2026. I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday, and I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Peace.